Namaste, angels. This is the daily reading for Thursday, May 23rd. I'm doing it a little bit after 3 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, the 22nd. So, success. Like the sun indicates, success. Um, getting back on track and doing it at least a day in advance, like I like to. So here we go. We're going to begin with the year 1618 and the Second Defenestration of Prague. Two Catholic lords, regent and their secretary, are thrown out of a window and amazingly are not seriously injured by the 70-foot fall. All of these people survived the 70-foot fall. Can you believe it? But it triggers the 30 Years' War. 1785. Benjamin Franklin announces his invention of bifocals. I think I need those. Are those the ones with its two different visions in them? See, I finally got some glasses and I can see. I pass every eye test. Even at the DMV itself, I passed my eye test. I don't need glasses to drive according to them. And, technically I don't. But I can honestly say at night, I can't see a damn thing for the most part. I mean, I really, really can't. And I'll slow down I'll get to a place where it's like pitch black. I really can't see shit. And I'll slow down, and that's not safe either. So finally I was like, I gotta go get some glasses, or I'll just, keep driving knowing I damn well I don't know what's ahead of me. Finally I was like, I gotta go get some glasses. So I told my eye doctor what was going on with me at night, and he gave me some glasses to drive with at night. He said, you don't have to wear them all the time. You don't have to wear them any other time. You don't have to wear them, period. But if you want something to help you, like you're coming to me, I'm giving you these to drive with at night. Cool. So the other day I put them on for the first time. Like 2 nights ago. I had just picked them up that day and I happened to be driving to Brooklyn. And in New York, in the city, not New York period, but in New York City, it's not as bad because we have a lot of lights. Some parts of Brooklyn can get dark. So I was going to Brooklyn. I put them on. And when I look down at my GPS, I can't see that. If I look at my odometer, look at the time in my car, all that stuff is blurry. So I got to take them off. And I'm like, did he mean to give me something like this? Like, if I was really like driving, it probably would be inconvenient to have to take my glasses off every couple seconds to do something else. So I think I need the bifocals. I think that's the one with the two different prescriptions, I guess, in the same lens. Anyway, they were invented in 1785. 1813, South American independence leader Simón Bolivar, enters Merida, leading the invasion of Venezuela, and is proclaimed El Libertador, or the Liberator. 1949, Federal Republic of West Germany is created out of the American, British, and French occupation zones. 1958, Mao Zedong starts the Great Leap Forward movement in China. And 1998, the Good Friday Agreement is accepted in a referendum in Northern Ireland with 75% voting yes. Did you know Canada's Northwest Mounted Police Force forms? It didn't get the quote-unquote title Royal, like the Royal Mounted Police, until 1904. But on this day, they got the Mounted Police Force name and they formed in the year 1873. Famous birthdays: Carolus Linnaeus, Ambrose Burnside, John Bardeen, Drew Carey, and Ken Jennings. Would you believe baseball game between one-armed and one-legged players at Recreation Park in Philadelphia, the Snorkies defeat the Hoppers? I guess the Hoppers were the ones with one leg and the Snorkies are one arm. I don't know what Snorky means. But the Snorkies defeated the Hoppers 33-17 on this day, May 23rd, in the year 1883, or 9/11 or 11. Famous weddings, 1942. Comic book artist Jack Kirby, 24, weds Roz Goldstein. 1953, John F. Kennedy's sister, Eunice Kennedy, 31, weds activist and attorney Sargent Shriver at St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. And I'm sure that was St. Patrick's old cathedral at the time. I don't believe the new one was even standing yet in 1953. 1970, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, 26, weds heiress Julia Stimson Thorne, 25. 1533 or 66. King Henry VIII of England and Catherine of Aragon's marriage is declared null and void by authority of the English clergy and not the Pope. 1934, the first wife, Marguerite Van Kessel, divorces NFL player Curly Lambeau, 36, after 14 years of marriage. And 2016, actress Amber Heard, 30, files for divorce from her fellow actor Johnny Depp, 52. Yeah, that bitch. With all her false accusations and whatnot. Famous deaths. William Kidd, Bonnie Parker, Clyde Barrow, John D. Rockefeller, Heinrich Himmler, and Sam Snead. All right. Sam Snead was a golfer, American, one of the top golfers in the world for almost 4 decades. He was born on May 27th in 1912 in Ashwood, Virginia, USA, and was a Gemini. He died on May 23rd in 2002 at the age of 89 of a stroke. Heinrich Himmler, probably a Nazi. Yep, he sure was. Leading Nazi and Reichsfuhrer of the SS. Remember the other day when all of the famous Germans that they wanted to... That was pretty racist, actually. I hope that was accurate. All the famous Germans that they wanted to feature on this page, which is a generic page. It's on thisday.com. It's not from any one race or another, but they were all Nazis. Like, that was all Germany had to offer. Well, it was Nazis and Einstein. He was the only, normal one. He's famous because he was a Nazi. As the head of the SS, Himmler oversaw the construction and operation of Nazi Germany's concentration and extermination camps. He was thus at the center of the Holocaust. He was Hitler's second in command and one of the most powerful and infamous Nazis. In 1945, he attempted to open negotiations with allies, whereupon he was dismissed from all of his posts by Hitler and captured by the British, in whose custody he committed suicide on the 23rd of May in 1945. He was born on October 7th in the year 1900 in Munich, Germany, and was a Libra. He died on May 23rd in 1945 at the age of 44. He committed suicide by cyanide poisoning after being captured by the Allied forces. A lot of them commit suicide too, which is interesting. I don't know if they had some sort of pact that if they get, before getting caught or whatever, or if they get caught, they commit suicide. Anywho, John D. Rockefeller was an oil industrialist. He was American, co-founder of the Standard Oil Company, and the world's first billionaire. He was born on July 8th in 1839 in Richford, New York, USA, and was a Cancer. He died on May 23rd in 1937 at the age of 97 of arterial sclerosis. Clyde Barrow was a bank robber. Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow together formed the famous Bonnie and Clyde duo that traveled the central United States with their gang in the early 1930s, committing robberies of banks, small gas stations, and various murders throughout the Great Depression. Barrow was born into a poor farming family in Texas. He began cracking safes, robbing stores, and breaking into cars in his late teens and early 20s, and he met Bonnie Parker in 1930. He was sent to prison for theft. Here, committed his first murder of here committed his first murder. Maybe he committed it in prison is what they're saying. Murder of a fellow inmate who repeatedly sexually assaulted him. Ooh, yeah, okay. And he had an inmate chop off 2 of his toes to avoid hard labor. Ouch. When he was released in 1932, he started a gang with various people, including Parker and his elder brother, Buck. The duo became known for bank robberies, but preferred robbing small gas stations and rural stores. They became the face of the Public Enemy era in the United States, and their exploits were captured by the press, various pulp fiction magazines, and newsreels. Bonnie and Clyde were eventually ambushed and shot dead by police on May 23rd in 1934, ending their years of crime. They were born, or he was born rather, on March 24th in the year 1909 in Ellis County, Texas, USA, and was an Aries. He died on May 23rd in 1934 at the age of only 25 of gunshot wound. Bonnie Parker. They don't give details about her. They just say she was the female half of Bonnie and Clyde. It's pretty sexist. She was born on October 1st in the year 1910 in Rowena, Texas, USA, and was a Libra. She died on May 23rd in 1934 at the age of 23 of gunshot wounds. And that's all they have to say about her. She was actually married to someone else, a man named Roy. She was not married to Clyde. Lastly, for the deaths, William Kidd was a pirate legend, Scottish, the only pirate known to have buried treasure. He was born on January 22nd in the year 1645 in Greenock, Scotland, and was an Aquarius. He died on May 23rd in 1701 at the age of 56 of execution by hanging. We are going back up to the birthdays. The first one is Ken Jennings. That's that guy that was on Jeopardy for like a million years. Right? I think so. Yep. 74-time Jeopardy champion. Of course, 74, 11. So we know that's significant. He's American, and he's famous for holding the record of the longest winning streak on the U.S. syndicated game show, Jeopardy! And as being the all-time leading money winner on American game shows, period, like all American game shows. He was born on May 23rd in 1974, so there's another 74 for him, in Edmonds, Washington, USA, and is 44 years old. 44, of course, the number that represents the archangels, but I guess he'll be 45 on his birthday. A tiger on the Chinese zodiac, and a Gemini. Drew Carey. Actor and comedian. He first made a name for himself as a stand-up comedian in the 1980s. He is most famous, though, for starring in his own sitcom, The Drew Carey Show, and serving as the host of the U.S. version of the improv comedy show Whose Line Is It Anyway?, both of which aired on ABC. He was born on May 23rd in 1958 in Cleveland, Ohio, USA, and is 60 years old, a dog on the Chinese zodiac, and a Gemini. Yeah, I think like when the Drew Carey Show would come on at the end of like the song, they'd say like, "Hello, Ohio," or something like that, because that's where he was from. John Bardeen was a physicist and an electrical engineer. He won the Nobel Prize for Physics twice. Once in 1956 for helping to invent the transistor, and a second time in 1972 for BCS theory. He was born on May 23rd in 1908, which is 9/9, in Madison, Wisconsin, USA, and was a Gemini. He died on January 30th in 1991 at the age of 82 of heart disease. Ambrose Burnside was a Union general, politician, and an industrialist. He served as the governor of Rhode Island from 1866 to 1869 during the American Civil War. He was a general in the Union Army where he led successful campaigns in North Carolina and Tennessee, but he suffered defeats at the Battle of Fredericksburg and the Battle of Crater. After his period as governor, he served as U.S. Senator for Rhode Island from 1875 until his death in 1881, another 9-9. And he also had a number of industrial directorships, most prominently on the country's railroad networks. His distinctive style of facial hair gave birth to the name Sideburns, derived from his last name, which is Burnside. He was born on May 23rd in 1824 in Liberty, Indiana, USA, and was a Gemini. Carolus Linnaeus was a taxonomist, botanist, physician, and a zoologist. He was Swedish and is considered the father of modern taxonomy. He defined the principles for grouping, ranking, and naming organisms into genera and species, which is the binomial nomenclature. So he gave it all those Latin names and stuff, each animal. He was born on May 23rd in 1707 in Rashult, Sweden, and was a Gemini. He died on January 10th in 1778 at the age of 70. And the last one is King Philip I of France. That's what he was, the King of France. King of the Franks, they call it, from the year 1060 until his death. He was called the Amorous, as in like loved. His reign, like that of most of the early Capetians, was extraordinarily long for the time. The monarchy began a modest recovery from the low it had reached in the reign of his father, and he added to the royal Demoscene, the Vexin, and the Borgias. So he added to the different families. Sometimes the way they write stuff, I have to decipher it. He was born on May 23rd, which I haven't pointed out yet. It's a 5-5. Of course, we had noticed that earlier on. The year was 1052 or 1052 when he was born in Champagne-et-Fontaine in France. And he was a Gemini. He died on July 29th in the year 1108 at the age of 56. And he was the last. So, again, I am beginning with the sun. So happy outcome. This is good energy. Your plans will work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments that you so richly deserve. And maybe people like my daughter will get back their x-rays and stuff. People who've had CAT scans, MRIs, those kinds of tests. She had that endoscopy. Maybe she'll get her results back, although I'm not expecting them. We're supposed to go back to see the doctor, I guess, next Tuesday. He said, come see me in a week. But perhaps we'll hear something on Thursday with this sun showing up. Now up into the 5 of summer. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook makes it easier to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. So there still may be some sort of disappointment on this day, or somebody may be waiting for disappointment. I talked a lot about this the other day, about our mindset and about how we really do create our own reality. And a lot of times it feels like, I don't want to sound like I'm speaking as I'm standing on high somewhere separate, myself included. A lot of times we forget that. We forget that we create our own reality. And we think more from a place of things are happening, just happening to us sort of randomly. And that's not really the case. It's not really the case. When we, because I know it, I do it consciously. I master the energy. One time, I was going on vacation, and my mother was ill. I think my mother still had cancer at this time. And I was going on vacation, and she wasn't coming with me. She was going to be at her home here in New York, and I was going to, I think, Charleston or something like that in South Carolina. And I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. And I basically told the universe I did not want, my mother to need me for anything for the time that I was gone. I didn't want my phone to have to ring for me to, like she needed help and I wasn't there or whatever. And it didn't happen. I didn't want any important mail. Like, I spoke all of this into the universe. I very consciously did it. And it worked. But that's not the only time. I'm just giving you an example. But other times, I let stuff happen to me. Like, just happen to me. How do I let stuff happen to me? I put my guard down. I'm not manifesting. I'm not, I'm not being the master of my own destiny. I basically relinquished the reins over to some other entity or, random, willy-nilly. And so that's what leads to like this sort of thing, the disappointment. I posted yesterday on Facebook, like, no one can shame you unless you yourself agree with, that your attributes or your behaviors or whatever are negative. And it's the same thing, with everything else. No one can make you feel bad, poorly, hurt, unless you too, like, agree that that's how you should feel. If you are committed to this, then this is going to be your reality. If you leave the door open for this, then this potentially will be your reality. Or if you're committed to this, it definitely will be your reality. If you just want to walk around all the time like, oh, woe is me, nothing goes my way. Yep, nothing will. You're right about that. This can also be someone expecting negativity is what I meant to say. But, opposite Major Arcana card 19, this little Minor Arcana doesn't stand a chance, This card says that it's going to be a good day. The Sun. All right, 2 more good cards. It's the 8 of Autumn. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. And the 10 of Autumn. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure, your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. Ten of Autumn. The 7 of Summer. It's time to stop procrastinating and to make a decision so that you can move forward with a priority. If you need to do more research, then do so. But don't overthink the situation. Listen to your heart. Ten of Autumn. 8 of Summer. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. And another one of these Earth cards. The Queen of Autumn. Thoughtful, caring, creative, ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. The Queen of Autumn is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone like into those traits or attributes. Now, seeing the Queen of Autumn, the 10 of Autumn, the 8 of Autumn, and the Sun, the 5 of Water, again, doesn't stand a chance unless we are insistent on it standing a chance. You get what I'm saying? And it looks like somebody may be. Because here we are at the 8 of Winter. It's so easy to convince yourself, listen to those words, convince yourself that you're trapped when you really aren't. Trust that God will lift you to new heights and give you a greater sense of confidence if you first affirm your own freedom. Going to the dice, we'll begin with romantic dinner, cocktail, and sex. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Well, that's a good one, too. Yes, cocktail and romantic dinner. Maybe someone says yes to dinner and drinks or something, to a proposal. And Spirit says, forget it. Maybe whatever would otherwise hold you back. Forget that. Let that go. Instead, 29, spiritual partnership. And yes, that romantic dinner. Overall energy is the 3 of Summer. You have an exciting reason to celebrate, such as an engagement, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. Remember to cherish those you love. So this can definitely be about getting together with somebody and going out to dinner or cocktails or whatever it is. Because this is a card about being social. It can be about reunions, friends getting together, other loved ones, family members, people you haven't seen in a long time, even romantic interests. Or we're getting together for a specific reason to celebrate something. And it's that time of year too. It's graduations, it's prom, right? One of my girlfriends just graduated again. I think she got her doctorate or something, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, so we're doing that. Our kids are doing that. Other people close to us graduating, getting scholarships. You know, there's all kinds of stuff to celebrate. Crowning, the masculine. It is the 5, major arcana card 5. And I said it weird like that, the 5, because I was thinking about, you know, the other 5. This is our second 5. And it's also 5-5. Remember, May 23rd, 5-5. So, yeah. But this is major arcana card 5, not the 5, which is actually the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher. This could be connected to, again, graduations and stuff like that too. And going to college, looking for a college to go to or some sort of vocational center or school or something. Or it can be about you spending time with others who are also on a spiritual path, like the 3 of Summer would suggest maybe. Again, being social, getting together with other people, like-minded people maybe. When I picked up the 3 of Summer, behind it also upright is the Princess of Winter, who is logical, truthful, curious, and undiplomatic. This is a time, this is an intellectual challenge that calls upon your ability to think of a matching solution. If helpful information is put to you bluntly, accept the message without being bothered by the messenger. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius may be involved, maybe most specifically a Gemini, with this being the page. And also upright behind that is the Queen of Spring. Talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities vying for your attention at once, but you can do it. The Queen of Spring is a Leo. That's the fixed sign of the element of fire. So that would be the Queen, a Leo. Sagittarius or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This can be about, you know, passionately pursuing things that you're drawn to, you know, that you want in your heart, that you align with, that you resonate with, and maybe celebrating the fact that you're doing that. Or maybe it's involving a fire sign and or air sign. Or Taurus. Major arcana card, the Hierophant, represents the sign of Taurus. Surrounding the masculine, it is the Hermit, so it's more earth. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. Major arcana card, the Hermit, represents the sign of Virgo. Both of these cards can be about, yes, increased or deepened spirituality and trying to get in touch with oneself. This can be connected to all that, all those messages about learning and understanding our purpose, the rant I went on the day prior, by making sure that we don't sort of count ourselves out and that we always support ourselves. That's going to help us to find our purpose too. Continuing to support ourselves and learning, to understand ourselves and to nurture ourselves and continue to do the things that we enjoy doing, even if it's just like, again, like I gotta get a paper every morning and a cup of coffee. I gotta get my hair cut every week. I gotta buy myself a bouquet of flowers to put on my table so it can be pretty every week. Whatever it is, nothing is like too insignificant or too grand. If that's your thing, you should continue to maintain the practice of it. Masculine subconscious. There's that 5 of summer. And again, it's up against this much stronger energy. So why? Why is this where his mindset is? This is what he has to correct. And maybe going within with these 2 very strong cards, and that very strong earth energy directing him to do so, he'll be able to fix this, to remedy this quickly. Now, the day before, when I was shuffling, saw all that fire, and then it disappeared for the masculine and it showed up for the feminine. It was like fire, 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 fire. And now today, when I was shuffling, we saw all that earth and it's showing up on the side of the masculine. Stronger than the earth that I saw, right? Because this is major arcana. That was just the court cards and stuff. So that's interesting too to me. Crowning the feminine, fire is back. This is the card that was crowning the day prior too, I think. The Prince of Spring, passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance first. So feminine may be getting a similar message to the one she got the day before. The Prince of Spring is also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, or someone like into those traits or attributes, and does propose, some sort of opportunity to us. So it could be bringing like news of a new job, a new relationship, mirroring the Hierophant. It can be commitment, deepening of relationship, deepening of a friendship, or, spiritual group or something, connection with someone, maybe, especially with spiritual partnership having shown up in the dice too. The day before, this was here, and then this was the 9 of fire. And I felt that not only, was it a court card of the fire element, but I thought that I was really speaking to a female fire sign that day, that it wasn't just describing her energy for the day, that she was actually a fire sign. But of course, that could have been for anybody. So if you resonated with it, regardless of your sign, I'm glad. Let's see what's surrounding today. It's a different card. It's the Queen of Autumn. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive energy in every situation or person. The Queen of Autumn is a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And this can be definitely entering some sort of relationship or partnership, or deepening a connection with an earth sign, maybe specifically. Or with money, or the material, the earthly, when the suit of autumn shows up. This over here maybe could be a teacher. Maybe that's who's giving us advice, right? This advice that we're supposed to follow precisely, that's going to help us. I don't consider myself really a Queen of Autumn, but it could be, even like some of the advice that I just gave. I am a Taurus midhaven. I am a Leo rising. Possible. Feminine subconscious. The 10 of Autumn is also back. So again, we're doing good. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So here's a bit of advice that you should follow, I think. know that this is coming. So even if you don't see it, and in the moment that you're watching this reading, or you haven't seen it in your day yet, that you're wealthy like this, and doesn't necessarily mean money, but absolutely can, that you're wealthy and should feel secure. Just know again that you should, and that's what we have to shift our mindset when we feel it slipping away from us, right? We feel ourselves losing control of our own mindset. Crowning. The Four of Summer. And see, here's evidence of that. I must have felt this coming on, and the need to say that. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you, right? All of this. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. And again, one is said to be on the way to the feminine, perhaps via a fire sign. Doesn't have to be, though. It could be just like, this could be the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter gives us opportunity. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, of luck, of karma, right? So it can be from that. It could be from Mars. Mars, the planet of action. I want you to take action in your earthly life in order to promote abundance on your own behalf, Boom. At the root, the Queen of Winter. Experience self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. That definitely, again, can go over here with whom, what, where are we surrounding ourselves? And do we need to make adjustments to our environment, to something that, with which we resonate better? We better align someone of our own or similar frequency, vibration, or higher, from whom we can learn something. And now my whole chart is showing up. With my Gemini sun and my Aquarius moon, again, my Taurus midheaven, my Leo rising. That's me, all there. At the heart of the matter, okay, another indication of partnership, the Two of Spring. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people who are helping you. And that may be family members. That might be guiding you toward family, to spend more time with family. And by family, I don't necessarily mean blood. People who you consider family, close enough. That may be with whom you want to partner, because the Ten of Autumn is just a very family kind of card, and the Queen of Autumn can be a very motherly, nurturing kind of card. So that may be who we're partnering with on the side of the feminine. Further advice for the masculine is the Three of Spring. Stop to take time to review, to make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you may need patience for the next phase to play out. And that may be why you're getting discouraged here, because it's requiring patience. You're not looking up and seeing this, already. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take some faith. It's going to take you, some manifestation. It's going to take your intentions, your focused intention on that positive. And so it may take some time. And it may involve a party of three, maybe a fire sign, earth sign, and an air sign, right? With the Three of Spring. It could involve three people. Feminine. The Princess of Summer. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone, or you may be invited to a social event. The Princess of Summer is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and it can just be news, right, that makes you happy. So let's say it's not actually a person. All the court cards, they can definitely, absolutely be people, and they often are. But let's say it's just a letter or something that comes in the mail that tells you or proposes an opportunity for you to become more abundant and more lucrative. Then that's it. And you'd be like, I didn't meet anybody. I didn't get to meet anybody. It said I was going to meet somebody. Not necessarily. It could be something like that. It's just something that makes you happy, an offer of love in some way. And then again, cause for celebration. I hope you guys have enjoyed the daily. I'll be back tomorrow. Namaste.